Welcome to Intervision FM. My name is Johnny J. And being this is the first show for this month in 2020. On this show, I'm gonna roll back some things I said on one of my shows concerning Mayor Hancock, because he seems to had a change of heart. And I'm the first one to say, you know, if I'm wrong in something, I'll come back and I'll say, hey, I was wrong about that. I want to talk about the virus that's going about as well. And if you guys haven't had a chance to Google some of the things that's been going on, what's been going on, and it's really important to Google some things and research it for yourself. But as I understand, when the flu season started here in the United States, probably in October, up to now, over, I think, 800 or so people have died of the flu. And so far in China, which is like billions of people, compared to our, hundreds of millions of people. What was the count? Was it 130, 100 in the 100s? For that many people in that population is not comparable to what's happening in the United States. If you're going to get like radically upset about what's going on in China, then maybe you should get more radically involved with what's going on here in the United States of America, because we seem to have all these deaths over the common flu or pneumonia, what have you, here in the United States. So you can Google it yourself and find out more about that. So calm down. Yes, death will happen to us all, but in this situation, 0.5%, and even less than that, of the people that have died in China with this virus is, I don't know, kind of crazy. And you have to realize that in that country, the infrastructure, that's why they're building these 2 hospitals in what, like a month? It's going to take like, I don't know, 2 weeks, a month. And who knows what this hospital is going to be made out of, and if it's going to collapse. I mean, there are earthquakes in that part of the country. So hopefully they're building the hospitals where it's earthquake proof, because the hospital with lodging all these infected people could be more deadly if an earthquake hits, and you never know when the earthquake's going to hit. Or you do know, you have an idea when earthquakes hit by measuring processes that we do have. So that may be more deadly than this virus itself. So you have to look at that. And just like I said, the infrastructure you got all these billions of people, and it's almost like a third world country. They're competing with America. Oh, and I understand that the steel factory, because they're not able to, we gave over our steel production to China. So a lot of those workers are not working as well to deliver steel. So there's going to be some kind of slowing down in car manufacturing and other products that are made out of steel. That's why the stock market plummeted, so much, is because it's like, this is really going to affect the economy globally, because we put our steel factories over in another country and say, well, we're going to depend on that. Just like when we put our oil, we just was drilling in other countries. We put our oil in their hands, and then we have to fight through some of their tribal thoughts and traditions and they're deaf to Americans and all that craziness, and and we have to get past all that kind of things to get the oil for these cars that we built over here. So, oh, by the way, if you just joined us, you want to know who I am. Johnny J. I'm the only totally blind TV producer in Colorado. The show is seen on Channel 56, our YouTube channel. If you just come in on our YouTube channel, please subscribe, hit the bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos, and like the video as well, because this is my perspective coming from the blind world. All right, and our website is innervisionrecords.org. We are a nonprofit organization. We work with physically challenged musical artists to teach them the business of music. And we have a radio station that's 24/7 now. It's innervisionfm.com. That's Innervision FM. We also, our shows could be heard on KUVO, Denver Open Media, 92.9 on the FM dial. So that's KUVO, 92.9 on FM dial. We're doing the top 20 countdown, and we encourage you to vote on that. And you can hear it on KUHS Denver every Sunday from 1 to 3. And you can call in your vote by calling 720-324-7278. That's 720-324-7278. You can text in your vote. And we are looking for some more new artists. So if you are a musician or musical artist, we are looking for you. We just ask that your music has to be radio edited, and no negative lyrics about calling women the B words and talking about your bling bling and the drugs that you love to use. If it's not positive, if it doesn't uplift people, it will not enter into our top 20 countdown. He said, well, that's like being a king over the subject. Well, okay, well, it's our show, and we choose to showcase the positive things that our musicians are doing, especially men or boys, than the negative things that the industry is pumping out there without any thought or care about what they're doing to young people. But that's another topic, and we might get into that at some point as well. So let's see. And I want to let you know that the views of mine are mine alone, and it's based on my opinions. It doesn't reflect the opinions of this television station or any other one that broadcasts Innervision FM. And so it's solely, and my observance of the world, and through walking around in a dark room and just listening to people. So I don't have a full visual picture of what's going on. I just listen to the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Just the facts. You remember that old TV show? Well, no, a lot of you don't remember the old TV show, but doesn't matter. Look it up. Just the facts, ma'am. Sergeant Friday. Okay, so before I get into my Mayor Hancock retraction, I want to talk about, I went to the Martin Luther King parade, and I want to be at the beginning, and so I saw the propaganda that the mostly Democratic politicians said. Saw Hickenlooper there because he's running for something which he's not going to win, because he was like greatly loved, and everybody just really fell over themselves while he was here. And then he got into the big world and realized that the world is not Colorado. So it went down as far as his presidency, and so he just wasn't able to get a catch hold like he wanted to. I saw Polis there, our Boulder governor, who thinks that he's going to make Denver and other outlying places into a Boulder, and even further than that, make it into a California. So he wants to fornicate our our mountains and our traveling with putting in policies to force. That's what most Democrats on the left are about. They want to force a change in your the way you do things. Freedom of choice, freedom of thought is not in the vocabulary because they all think they know better than you. They're equated to like a king who says, I declare this. And Democrats, instead of having one person declare this, they say, well, a group of us will declare what is right for you. We are a republic, and I get so tired when I hear even Republicans say democracy. We are not a democracy. We are a republic. I'm gonna get a little bit more into the meaning of that as I understand it now, and I'm reading more about this because it was not taught in our school. We did the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberties for justice for all. So when you, and I don't even know, well, in schools they don't even recite the Pledge of Allegiance. So in the memory of a lot of our kids now, those, unless they look it up themselves, they don't even see that, right? So Polis and his crew, and this was a long term. The blue book of what he did probably started out in 2001 with him, as he built and built and built and just was patient, like a lot of Democrats are patient, and to win the long term game. And like I said in the last video that I was talking about Mayor Hancock, history repeats itself, and if you forget the history, you will repeat it. All right. And what makes our republic, our American, our United States, was not that we had slavery, but we were the first country to actively end slavery. And as I read the Bible, there were slaves in the Bible. The slave is as far when man figured out that he can make an animal do what he wants, then he looked around and says, oh, what if I can make him do what I want? And there you got it, the start of slavery between people. It didn't start with black people, it didn't end there, because even Africans right now have a policy of slavery in Africa, right, where they're forced labor, right, in other countries. And as as you live longer and you read and you understand the world, as the Democrats don't want you to understand the world, they just want to give you their perspective and show you through media a false narrative or a one-sided narrative or the left narrative. They think they can fool the masses. But what they don't tell you was when our founding fathers were going towards this, they couldn't end slavery just like that. Like it started here in 1619. They couldn't just end it because you have all these people who, couldn't just end it right away in 1776. They had to progressively, slowly do this through educating the slaves, because it was against the law to teach a slave to read or write, and plus he didn't have any property, right? So in order to participate in a republic, in a, economy where capitalistic economy, you have to have someone who could read, write, and have resources and property. And the Democrats and the conservative left-wing part of this Democrat believed in separation. They said, no, we don't want to do anything with those people. We wanted to be separate but equal. But of course, we learned that separate but equal under the Democratic rules was a lie, because they gave us the very substandard thing. Now, on the right, they said, okay, we gotta, President Jefferson, yes, he grew up with a slave, with slaves around him. But what he realized is, I want to step out of this. Our founding father says, I wanted to step out of this, and we see that it's not right to own another person, right? And they had to do it step by step, or the whole republic would fall. So they couldn't just do it overnight. So it took about 20 years to get things into place. And then in 1808, Washington went a little bit further. Okay, so we have to really study history. It's out there. Study it. Don't just listen to what your teachers tell you. Study it for yourself, and then ask the teachers these questions. Because right now, it's getting really crazy with, and our parents do opt out of this sexual education that these schools are trying to put up. It's Bill 1032. Bill 1032. And this past Monday at 1:30, a lot of people went down to the Capitol to discuss this bill, because they wanted to push it aside, so it would be hard for parents to find out about what exactly they want to teach our children that are in the 5th and 6th grade, and maybe even younger. And that's when I went to the MLK thing, and I saw this politician say, black politician say, I have seen this bill, and it's going to teach black children about their heritage, and he was a liar. Okay. Right, should I say alleged liar? I'm not giving you his name, but alleged liar. We'll say that for legal reasons, right? And what it is the New York Times reported that they're going to do this curriculum, and it's called 1619 Project, which they're introducing to schools. So they're going to try to teach our children, our grandchildren, that that America wasn't the greatest because we reversed and we ended slavery, but we were so bad because we went along with the slavery, and we're so bad. But they tell you the half truth, that America was the first country to actively end slavery. But they don't want to teach you that in American schools, because, as Obama says, he wants to fundamentally change the United States of America. And don't get me started about Obama. He was groomed at the age of 8 years old, or maybe a little bit before, for the position that he went into. They were just biding their time. They couldn't have Reverend Jackson, because he was too black. They couldn't have Shirley Chisholm in the 70s because she was too black. So they had to pick out somebody they can manipulate, someone they can say, okay, this is the agenda. This is what we want you to do. And that's why when blacks, they were so happy to have a black president. We got a black president. But they didn't realize, or they started to realize that, wait a minute, this president is not a president for all. He's the president for the left and their agenda, their socialist, communistic agenda. And we found out the hard way what Obama was really about. So he was groomed. He didn't just pop out of nowhere. He was groomed step by step to law the black population, and then the good white people who said, hey, we have nothing against black people. Hey, why can't there be a well-spoken black man in the presidency? But they didn't know either his agenda, and a lot of them didn't do the research. And the ones who did, it was like we were crying wolf, but nobody was listening, or very few people were listening, right? And so, yes, he did what his left-wing radical crew wanted him to do. And when he was going to Reverend Wright Church, who was a total racist, a black racist, when he was going to that church, and then when we found out he was going to that church and what Reverend Wright preaches about separatism and about racism against white people, he backed away from his preacher. Now, if your preacher was right, why are you backing away from him? If Reverend Wright was right, why are you backing away from him, Obama? You got to ask that question. You back away people. Oh, when the populists find out about who you're really with, I can't associate with him. I got to get away from him. So okay, let's before I run out of time. Also go to the website. Do date too late. Due date too late. Go to that website and fill out the application. And Denver is one of 7 states that allow, or Colorado allows, like full-term abortion. That means the baby can be born and you can kill the baby after it's born. So this petition is saying killing babies is bad, but killing them when they can feel the pain inside the womb is even better. So they're just saying no late-term abortion after 21 weeks, when the nervous system has been developed and the baby can actually feel the doctor cutting the legs off, cutting the arms off, cutting the head off, and all that kind of stuff. And now kids with today's technology, they have these now the ultrasounds where they could see the little brother developing into a person. So now with technology, we know that what the Democrats have told us to get us to have these laws to kill unborn children, it was just allowed. It's not a blob. Especially after 9 months, it's no longer a blob or a fetus. The names, the generic names they want to come up with. It's a viable human being, but it has no speaking voice. So a lot of these left people, they say, let's get them when they have no speaking voice, and let's kill them before they have a voice, right? Okay, let me get to okay. So go to due date too late and fill out that application as well. And hopefully I'll get to some of these other. And also the website Colorado Freedom Force. Go to that website as well, and they'll tell you what some of the things that are happening in Colorado, things that you should be getting involved with. But okay, let me get down to Mayor Hancock. I was so upset that he was so bought by the contractors and builders that, yeah, okay, they paid for your election, they got you in the office, and you owed them something. And so when he was saying that this is not a sanctuary city, and he was lying about that, and I won't say allegedly lying, because there's videos out there saying that has him saying that, and I can pull those videos if they don't wipe them away from the internet, and I probably should pull them now because you'll see this show after I have done that, so I could have it in my copy. But he did something Wednesday the 29th of January, and he did it before. He's been cleaning out these homeless areas that are bringing diseases and bringing just unsanitary things to our community. It was on 22nd and Stout, and they gave him warning that they would be doing it, and they say, this is where we're going to take your stuff. and they give them a list of places, homeless shelters with beds that are looking for people. You just can't go in there and just shoot up your heroin and drink alcohol and fight and just do crazy things. I guess if you're out in the free, you could do all those things, but they have requirements to keep you safe and to keep the people within these facilities safe as well. And so I have to give props to Mayor Hancock that for, I don't know, he got some backbone somewhere. I'm not sure. Maybe he always had it, but he had to fulfill his obligations to the people that were paying the bill and putting him in a position of power. And I guess this is his last term, so he started to do some right. So, Mayor Hancock, okay, I give you props on that. You're trying to do something, because Hickenlooper, and I'm going to make my other point with him, with Mayor Hancock and some stuff in this article that I read. Hickenlooper said, we're going to end homelessness. We have the road home. And they raised $14 million, and that $14 million disappeared. That $14 million disappeared. Where did it go? Did it go into his cronies' pockets? Where did it go? Now, we know that we spend $20,000 on each individual homeless person. As a matter of fact, compare that to the 12,000 people, $12,000 we spent on students, right? No, crazy that we spend more. And then we spend, what, about 30,000 on people in prison, right? Okay, that is pretty interesting how this United States of America does things. But with the awareness of you and me coming about and us getting involved and not just saying, well, we'll let the other guy, maybe we can change some of these things. So anyway, part of this article, they went up to this homeless guy, and oh man, so you get an idea of the people who want to be taken care of. I need a daddy. I need the government to be my daddy. Please get out of my life, government. Just like Whoopi Goldberg says, get out of my vagina, right? Well, okay, Whoopi, if you get off of my tax dollars, I'll get out of your private parts. It's like that. You want us to pay for your abortion, Whoopi Goldberg? You want me to pay for your sister, your cousins, or whatever abortion? Get me out of your tax, getting taxes, forcing me to pay for your killing of your children. And then you can say, hey, whatever. If you're paying for it, you do whatever you want. Knock yourself out, Whoopi Goldberg. Knock yourself out. But as long as I'm paying for it as a taxpayer, I'm going to be in your business. Just like the welfare system. When you're on welfare, they're in your business. Right? So you want the welfare of us taxpayers to get out of, you want us to get out of your private parts? You get out of our pockets. And then we'll have a discussion about it. All right? Okay, so then this homeless guy says, yeah, they asked, like, the government is thinking about, taxing people more. And the homeless person said, yeah, tax them more. Of course, he doesn't have a job. Of course, he wants to be taken care of. So yeah, tax us more so you can be on the street, crap on the streets, and then the business owners have to get their employees or get them to clean up after you. And did you know they even have an email telling business owners how to clean up excrements from the front of their stores? That shouldn't be the business owner's problem. That should be the city and county of Denver's problem to clean up people crapping in front of stores, people peeing in front of stores, homeless people using the stores sidewalks outside the stores as their places to go crap. That shouldn't be the business. That should be the city and county of Denver who invoked these policies that tell the cops, look the other way. If you see a homeless person crapping, look the other way, right? And the policemen, if they are here, they used to be like peace officers. Now they're just enforcing the laws, right? And some of them are crazy laws. So once again, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube, go ahead and do that. Hit the like button. Hit the bell if you're watching this on YouTube. Spreaker, if you're listening to this on Spreaker, sign up for Spreaker, and then go to our website and sign up for our newsletter, which is intervisionrecords.org. That's intervisionrecords.org, and listen to our top 20 countdown and invite some events. We're out of time. So God bless you. See you the next time here on Intervision FM.